You've done everything you were told was right. You're polite, you're respectful. You listen intently when she talks about her day. By all Paige's definitions, you are the quintessential nice guy. You're the one her friends say she should go for, the one her mom would absolutely adore. And yet you find yourself holding the metaphorical door open, only to watch her walk right through it and into the arms of someone who seems to be everything you're not. And it leaves you with one burning question. Why? Why does she say she wants a kind man, but her choices seem to tell a completely different story? The confusion and the sting of being put in the friend zone is a maddening cycle. You feel like you're following all the rules, but you keep losing the game. But what if the niceness you've been taught isn't the whole picture? What if it's a behavioral pattern, a strategy rooted in seeking approval and avoiding conflict, rather than genuine, confident kindness? What if, on some level, she senses that it isn't entirely authentic? This is the core of the paradox we're talking about today. The very approach you believe makes you desirable might be the one making you invisible. In this video, we're going to dismantle this paradox piece by piece. We'll explore 5 key mindset shifts that many well-intentioned guys overlook, shifts that are the bedrock of genuine attraction. This isn't about learning tricks or becoming some kind of jerk. It's about transforming from someone who seeks validation into someone who has it from within. By the end of our time here, you'll not only get why your approach might be falling flat, but you'll have a clear blueprint for flipping the switch from friend to the person she truly, deeply wants. Number 1, the pleaser's trap, the difference between nice and kind. Alright, let's get straight into the first and maybe the most important reason things might be backfiring. It's this. There's a massive difference between being a genuinely kind person and being a people pleaser. Genuine kindness comes from a place of strength and confidence. It's given without expecting anything in return. A kind man is helpful because that's who he is, not because he needs to be liked for it. A people pleaser, however, often operates from a place of anxiety. His actions can feel like a transaction. He's putting niceness coins into a machine, hoping affection will drop out. This behavior is usually rooted in a fear of rejection or conflict. It's a survival strategy where being agreeable feels like the safest bet. The guy stuck in this trap believes that by being endlessly accommodating, by pushing down his own opinions and desires, he's proving how great he is. He becomes a chameleon, mirroring her tastes and agreeing with everything she says. He thinks he's building a bridge, but he's actually building it on a foundation of inauthenticity. The problem is, people have a pretty sharp radar for this. When your whole personality seems to revolve around appeasing her, it doesn't read as kind. It can read as lacking confidence and, even worse, a bit dishonest. She might sense a kind of unspoken deal you've made in your head. If you do enough nice things, she will eventually owe you a romantic relationship. This puts a huge unspoken pressure on her and can feel uncomfortable. She feels like your niceness isn't a gift, but a debt she never agreed to. Attraction just can't grow under the weight of obligation. She doesn't want a fan, she wants a partner. Someone with a backbone, with his own life, his own thoughts, and his own direction. So, what's the fix? It's not to become selfish or mean. The antidote is to build a strong sense of self-worth that isn't tied to her approval. This starts with having a purpose that's bigger than chasing romance. When you have a mission, your career, a creative project, your fitness, anything, your center of gravity shifts. You stop being a satellite orbiting her and become your own sun. People are naturally drawn to that kind of energy. Practically, this means it's okay to voice your opinion, even if it's different from hers. It means you can say no to things without feeling guilty. It means sometimes you should be the one to pick the restaurant instead of always saying, "I don't know, what do you want to do?" This isn't about being bossy, it's about being a whole person. Let's paint a picture. The pleaser goes on a date and asks, "What kind of music do you like?" She says she loves indie folk. He immediately says, "Oh, me too. Love that stuff." Even if he secretly blasts 90s hip-hop in his car. He's trying to connect, but it's on false pretenses. A man with a strong sense of self might say, "That's cool. I'm more of a classic rock guy myself, but what's a band you think I should check out?" See the difference? The first guy erases himself. The second man is respectfully authentic, shows he has his own identity, and then invites her to share hers. He's not just more genuine, he's infinitely more interesting. He's a person, not a mirror, and that's a foundation for real attraction. Number 2, the predictability problem. You've erased all spontaneity. Let's move on to the second reason the too nice strategy can fall flat. It's because it often eliminates the excitement that fuels attraction. You might be making yourself so predictable and so available that you create an excitement deficit. Think about it. Anticipation is a powerful thing. The thrill of a great movie isn't just the ending, but the suspense and the unpredictable turns along the way. While it's a simplification, some researchers believe that unpredictability and excitement can play a role in attraction. It's the neurological engine of desire. Women can be drawn to men who feel like a bit of a catch because connecting with them feels rewarding. The classic overeager guy does the exact opposite. He's the kiddie ride at the amusement park, safe, slow, and you know every turn before it happens. From the moment he meets a woman, his game plan is totally transparent. He showers her with attention, texts good morning and good night, and replies to her messages in seconds. He'll drop his own plans at a moment's notice. He thinks he's showing how interested and reliable he is. But what it can accidentally communicate is that he doesn't have much else going on. He's signaling that she's already won him over completely, without having to put in any effort herself. This over-eagerness can kill the spark. There's no question of whether she can win him over because he's already laid his cards on the table. This removes any need for her to invest emotionally or mentally. And we all know that, psychologically, we tend to value what we work for. By being constantly available, you might be unintentionally devaluing yourself in her eyes. The solution isn't to play manipulative games or to act cold and distant. That's just being inauthentic in a different way. The real solution is to build a life that is so engaging and fulfilling that you are naturally a little less available. It's about having a purpose, hobbies, and a social life you're passionate about. When your life is full, you won't have time to text back instantly. You'll have to check your schedule before making plans. Your unavailability won't be a tactic. It'll be a real reflection of a man with his own priorities. And that creates genuine intrigue. Here's a practical example. The overeager guy gets a text. "Hey, what are you up to tonight?" He immediately cancels his gym plans and replies, "Nothing at all, free for whatever." He thinks he's being accommodating. A man with a full life might get the same text and reply, "Hey, hitting the gym after work, but I could meet up for a drink around 9. Or how about we plan something for Thursday?" This response does a few things. It shows he has his own life and priorities. It shows his world doesn't revolve around her, which makes him more of an equal. And by suggesting a future date, he shows his interest is genuine, but on his own terms. He isn't being a jerk. He's being a man with a plan. He's creating that crucial space for her to wonder, to anticipate, and to feel that little spark that says, "This one is interesting." Number 3, the initiative gap. You're not stepping up. The third mistake that can leave a great guy in the friend zone is a failure to take initiative. In dating, there's a powerful dynamic that thrives on confidence and decisiveness. The well-intentioned guy, in his attempt to be agreeable, can accidentally create an initiative gap. What does it mean to take initiative? It's not about being a dictator or being controlling. It's about having a direction and making decisions with confidence. It's about creating a situation where the other person can relax because they trust you have things handled. People in general are burdened with decision fatigue in their own lives. When someone steps up with a clear, confident plan, it's not seen as bossy. It's seen as a relief. It shows confidence and competence, two of the most attractive traits a person can have. It makes the other person feel like they are with a capable partner. The guy who's afraid of making the wrong move, however, avoids taking the lead at all costs. His vocabulary is built around indecision. What do you want to do tonight? Where should we go? What time works for you? Is it okay if I kiss you? He thinks he's being considerate, but what he's actually communicating is a deep lack of confidence. He's shifting the logistical and emotional work onto her. He's asking her to lead, which can kill the romantic vibe. She can't be drawn to his strength because he isn't showing any. He feels less like a partner and more like another task to manage. A man who understands this operates differently. He leads with gentle, confident authority. He makes a plan. He might say, "Hey, I'd love to take you out. Thursday, there's a great little Italian place I know. I can pick you up at 7. How does that sound?" This is a world away from hesitant questioning. It's decisive, it's clear, it builds anticipation, it allows her to just say yes and look forward to the date. He has taken the initiative. This extends to physical intimacy too. The guy who is terrified of being creepy often does nothing. He waits for a signal so obvious it might as well be a flare. which will probably never come. A confident person who is in tune with the other's signals knows how to move things forward respectfully. He doesn't ask, "Can I kiss you?" which can break the moment and put the other person on the spot. Instead, he creates the moment. He reads her body language. Is she leaning in, making long eye contact, touching his arm? And when the moment feels right, he leans in. He's taking a calculated risk, and that risk itself signals confidence. To be clear, this is not an excuse to be aggressive or ignore signs of disinterest. Someone who truly leads is also highly attuned. If he plans a date and she suggests something else, he's flexible. If he leans in for a kiss and she pulls back, he respects that boundary instantly and gracefully. True initiative isn't about being rigid, it's about providing a direction with the social intelligence to adjust. Think of it like dancing. The best partner is the one who knows how to lead. He guides his partner with confidence. The follower doesn't have to think about the next step. She can relax and enjoy the dance. Be the person who knows the dance. Number 4, the communication mix-up. Your intentions aren't clear. All right, let's talk about number 4. This is one of the most subtle yet damaging mistakes. Incongruent communication. This is when your actions say one thing, "I'm a safe, platonic friend," while your true desires scream another. Research overwhelmingly supports that clear, direct communication of romantic interest is far more effective than hiding your intentions. Think about it. You meet a woman you're attracted to. Instead of making your romantic intentions clear in a confident, low-pressure way, you take the safe route. You try to become her best friend. You become her confidant, her shoulder to cry on, the guy she complains to about the other guy she's dating. You listen for hours, offer advice, and become her go-to support system, all while secretly hoping she'll have a Hollywood moment and realize you're the one. This strategy often fails because you are actively conditioning her to see you as a platonic figure. By never flirting, never creating that romantic tension, and never making a move, your actions are telling her that you're not a potential partner. So when you finally confess your feelings months later, it can feel jarring and out of nowhere. She thought you were building a real friendship, but it turns out there was an ulterior motive. This can feel like a bait and switch and can damage the trust you've built. More importantly, this indirectness can be perceived as a lack of confidence. People are perceptive. They can often sense when someone isn't being straight with them. It signals that you lack the courage to go for what you want because you're afraid of rejection. A woman is generally attracted to someone who is bold enough to state their intentions and risk rejection. Hiding behind the mask of friendship can communicate that you don't believe you're worthy of being chosen for who you are. The solution is radical honesty and clear communication from the start. This doesn't mean being crude or aggressive, it means aligning your actions, words, and intentions. If you're attracted to a woman, you have to show it. This is done through the art of flirting, a playful mix of compliments, teasing, strong eye contact, and light, respectful touch. It's what separates a friendly chat from a romantic one. Let's look at a concrete example. You're on a date and she says something funny. The guy in friend mode gives a polite laugh. The congruent man, who is clear about his interest, might laugh, make solid eye contact, lightly touch her forearm, and say, "You're hilarious, I like that." That simple sequence, the touch, the eye contact, the direct compliment, says it all. It says, "I'm not just enjoying this as a friend, I am enjoying you." It creates a spark. It's honest. Furthermore, a congruent man uses clear language. Instead of saying, "We should hang out sometime," which is weak and non-committal, he says, "I've really enjoyed talking to you. I'd like to take you on a proper date." The word date is key. It removes all ambiguity. It frames the interaction as romantic from the start. This allows her to say yes or no based on honest terms. No games, no hidden agendas. It's confident, it's authentic, and it's incredibly refreshing. You have to be willing to risk rejection. It's far better to find out quickly than to invest months in a platonic act that's destined for frustration. Number 5, the emotional sponge. You can't handle the pressure. The fifth and final piece of this puzzle is maybe the hardest to master, but it's what separates a truly confident partner from everyone else. The too nice approach can fail when the person can't handle the full emotional spectrum of their partner. They become an emotional sponge, trying to absorb and fix every negative feeling, because their own self-worth gets tied to their partner's happiness. Anyone's emotional state is fluid. It can change because of hormones, stress, or a million other things that have nothing to do with you. A key test of a partner's strength is their ability to be a calm, steady presence in the face of that emotional weather. Can they be the lighthouse in the storm? Or are they a tiny boat tossed around by every wave? The emotional sponge is that tiny boat. Because their validation comes from their partner's approval, they need their partner to be happy all the time. When she's upset, frustrated, or distant, they panic. They think, "What did I do wrong? I have to fix this." Their response becomes a frantic mission to solve her problems. If she's stressed about work, they bombard her with solutions. If she's sad, they try to cheer her up with empty platitudes. This behavior, while it seems caring, is actually rooted in their own anxiety. They're not trying to fix her feelings for her benefit. They're trying to fix them to soothe their own discomfort. People feel this instinctively. It communicates that you aren't strong enough to handle their true self. They can't relax and be vulnerable with you because they feel like they have to manage your reaction to their emotions. Instead of being a rock, you become another emotional task. A truly attractive, emotionally stable partner understands they are not responsible for their partner's emotions. They are only responsible for their own. When their partner is in a negative state, they don't absorb it. They don't try to fix it. They simply hold space for it. They can sit with her in her sadness without trying to talk her out of it. They can listen to her vent without offering unsolicited advice. Their confidence isn't shaken by her mood. This provides the ultimate form of emotional safety. This is what people mean when they want a partner who is a rock. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally stable. It's having the strength to communicate through your calm demeanor. "I am here. I am not going anywhere. And I can handle this." This is an incredibly powerful attraction trigger. It shows you're a person of true substance, someone they can lean on and trust with the messy parts of themselves. So how do you cultivate this? It starts with emotional self-regulation. When you feel that urge to fix her mood, pause. Recognize that this urge might be coming from your own insecurity. Instead of reacting, choose to listen and observe. For instance, if she comes home stressed and starts venting, the emotional sponge says, "You should just quit, or tell your boss this or try that." He's trying to solve. The emotionally stable partner listens patiently. When she's done, he might say, "Wow, that sounds incredibly frustrating. I'm sorry you went through that." Then he might offer a hug or say, "Let me get you some tea, just relax for a bit." He isn't solving the problem. He's soothing her emotional state. He's providing comfort, not a checklist. He's being the lighthouse, not another boat in the storm. So, let's bring it all together. The path to genuine attraction isn't about being more agreeable. It's about a massive shift in your perspective. First, move from being a pleaser to being a man of authentic kindness, which comes from internal strength, not a need for approval. Stop performing niceness and start embodying genuine self-worth. Second, reintroduce excitement by building a life of purpose. Stop being endlessly available. Your time and energy are valuable. Act like it. Let people wonder about you, not because you're playing games, but because you're genuinely busy becoming your best self. Third, fill the initiative gap. Stop asking for permission for every little thing and start making confident decisions. Plan the date. Guide the interaction. Be an equal partner who steps up. Fourth, communicate clearly. Ditch the hidden agenda. Align your actions with your intentions. If you want more than friendship, have the courage to flirt and be direct. Risking rejection is the only path to a real connection. And finally, become an emotional rock, not an emotional sponge. Develop the internal stability to handle your partner's emotional world without trying to fix it or letting it destabilize you. Provide the calm, steady presence that makes someone feel truly safe. The truth is, the opposite of the nice guy isn't the jerk. The opposite of a guy who lacks confidence is a genuinely kind, confident, and integrated man. A man who respects himself enough to have boundaries. A man who has a purpose beyond winning someone's approval. A man who is kind, not at the expense of his own integrity. This is the kind of person who is universally attractive. The journey from being the friend to being the one they desire isn't about changing their mind. It's about changing yourself. It's about building a person that you deeply respect. When you do that, attraction won't be something you have to chase. It will be a natural consequence of who you've become. If this video resonated with you and you're ready to stop being the guy who finishes last, make sure you subscribe. We release brutally honest content like this every week to help you build unshakable confidence and master the art of attraction. Click that subscribe button and let's continue this journey together.